Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. How are you? So I want to do a very special bonus video, and it has to do with the live stream that Foodie did called Coffee Beats. So those of you that perhaps you watched my React video or watched the live stream through another reaction channel, then you will know that during the video, Foodie Beauty, while she was cleaning up her car, she held up a Starbucks cup that looked like it had black mold growing out of the top of it. This black mold looked very long, very large, and very prominent. She just held it up for a minute. And I looked at the mold and I said, something just doesn't feel right here. Something just doesn't seem right. So I went looking around and I was doing some digging and researching to see if it was indeed mold or something else. Because when I looked at the mold, to me, it looked like black tipped pins or needles. I thought I'd seen those kinds of pins or needles before. So I did a comparison between the mold, possible mold species that were out there, and pins. And I'm presenting this video as a theory video because I don't have any receipts, but I'm just going to present everything to you, all of you here, and see what you guys think. So let me just go ahead and share the screen so you guys can hear and see everything. Okay, so let me introduce you to a type of fungus, the one that this mold seems to resemble. It's called Comatrecia. Now, this particular fungus, you can only find it on the forest floor, and also it grows on dead wood. So let me just find a good picture of it so you guys can get a comparison. So here's one picture. This is black slime mold. This is Comatrecia. Take a good look at it. Notice that you get the black tip and the color black from the top to the bottom. It's very uniform. Remember, it only grows in the forest, grows on dead wood. So knowing that this type of mold only grows in the forest and on dead wood, what in the world would this type of mold be doing in a Starbucks cup? If you normally find it in the forest, and we know that Foodie has been nowhere near a forest in the past 3 months. So there's Comatrecia. That's what it looks like. This type of mold can be very, very tiny. The average size of this can reach perhaps a centimeter long. Okay, here's another picture. Again, growing on wood. It's growing in the forest. This is not your common black mold. This grows on dead wood and it grows on the forest floor. Let me get rid of this. Let's go back over here to Foodie for a minute. So there's the picture. There's a screenshot from the live. As you can see, what's sticking out of the plastic lid is very long. It's not very tiny. And I also noticed something other very suspicious thing about this screenshot. That unlike the actual black slime mold, the black color doesn't go from tip to tail. It ends right here. It ends right here. You guys just saw a picture of the mold. The black color is at the tip and also on the stem. But there's black color like right here, right underneath. Keep that picture in your head for a minute. These are a picture, this is a picture of these black pins. Black color pearl-headed pins. Let me see if I can find a better picture. One moment, please. That's better. Do you notice something about this picture? Black pearl tip with a color right underneath. Let's go back over here again. I actually did like a thumbnail in comparison. So here are the pins stuck into the plastic. This over here is a picture of black mold because I was wondering if it was black mold. I wanted to get a comparison on the two. As you can see, black mold looks very, very different. So you've got black pins compared to this. You get the black tip on each and the black color right underneath, but it doesn't go all the way down like with the original mold. Okay, what else do we have here? And there is a picture of actual black mold, which can be very dangerous. Black mold is very dangerous, but that looks nothing like the mold that's supposedly growing out of the cup. That looks more like the culprit. Black pins. When I saw this live stream, I immediately thought of needles or pins. Another thing of note, notice that the mold seems to be growing directly out of the plastic. This wasn't an open cup. This was a cup with a lid on it. How can mold grow directly out of the plastic like that? I would think that if it were mold, and it were the kind of mold that could grow in conditions like that the mold be growing out of the straw hole, not directly through the plastic. Another interesting thing, when Foodie went to Kuwait, it was winter time, cold weather. Mold generally likes warm weather. She left in October, she just returned. So mold is going to grow like this through plastic during cold weather. Foodie, she wears hijabs, and we've seen that she uses things like safety pins and pins to keep them secured around her face. Those look like pins that you would use for hats or perhaps a hijab. And looking at these pins very, very closely, it looks like Foodie stuck the pins into the plastic to the point where one of them actually bent. She bent some of the pins trying to, jam them in hard, like the metal bent. So is that what happened, Foodie? You had some extra pins in your car and you decided to put them into your cup and pass it off as mold? Because it doesn't look like mold to me. Looks like you just had some pins that you normally use for your hijab. You stuck them into the plastic, some of them more forcefully than others, and that's why they look bent, and tried to pass it off as mold. This is just a theory. I have no receipts, I have no facts, but just, the math ain't mathing. The math isn't mathing. Why would a species of spore of mold that you normally find in the forest and on dead wood be doing in your car, Foodie? The math ain't mathing. Why would it be growing up through plastic like that? And why would you see only the black color right underneath the tip, but not through the rest of the stem when it's supposed to look like that? That's the actual spore. That's the actual spore, Foodie. We know that you're someone, you like to do things for attention. You like controversy. You like drama. You like for the reaction channels to talk to you and talk about you. You like to do things for attention. So was this for attention? Did you have some pins that you normally use for your hijab in the car and decide to stick them into a Starbucks cup and pass it off as mold just to get the reaction channels talking and reacting? Well, people are reacting, people are talking. But the moment I saw those pins, and in my opinion, they are pins, sticking into the lid, I'm like, that doesn't look right. Let me go do some more digging. But these are my theories. These are my theories, and I welcome anyone else and their thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Tell me what you guys think. Do you think it's actually mold? Do you think that I might be right and it's just pins that perhaps she got for her hijab and she stuck them into a Starbucks cup and tried to pass it off as just mold that's been growing for 3 months? You know, Footy, this is where it would have served you well to do your homework, to do some digging on Google, like I did, to see what kind of mold you were trying to pass off. The particular kind of mold that most looks like only grows in the forest, my dear, only grows on dead wood, not in a Starbucks cup. No, definitely not. So I welcome everybody's opinions and feelings and thoughts. I think Foodie is trying to do a deep fake on us as far as do a little shock with the supposed mold growing in her car. What do you guys think, though? I welcome your thoughts. So nice try, Foodie. You've been busted. Thanks for watching, y'all. Have a good one. Bye bye.